All right. Shalom, shalom, and shalom. Sister Deborah coming this evening with a message. Not only is it a message, let let's ask questions. Let's ask questions as well. Sister Deborah is coming with a message along with let let's ask questions. Uh, Somebody like me, I have a million of questions. And I know the only way they can be answered is through the Holy Spirit. But I believe that we are in a time like no other. And in this time, the Father is not about to answer the questions in which we are really seeking to know because He's not going to change His yesterday because it's the way that it is today. Why? Because this is a time in which He has prophesied. It's already at hand. So He's not going to go back and reverse anything just to make us comfortable in some things. No, He's not. He's not going to stoop that low because we down that low, we want Him to stoop that low, and He's not going for it. So a lot of people have a lot of questions and they're searching for answers. No one owe you anything. Not in this day and time that we're in. You don't just think that, okay, you deserve answers to questions. Now, you can get answers to questions if they are available, but to just think that you're entitled to questions being answered to the point where it soothes your flesh. You have to know that the questions we should be answering this day and time should be more so spirit and truth. It should be that which is wrapped around the light because it doesn't help to know questions regarding the darkness. Everything is clearly seen. And I can believe without a doubt, I believe without a doubt, a lot of things are taking place and have taken place, and people still yet cannot see it, even though it's clearly out there, shining bright in darkness. I mean, when I say shining bright, you can clearly see it for what it is. But somewhere in individuals, there's something in them, and it has to be a spirit being that rejects what is put out there. That I know I don't know what happened to this page here and what's going on. Let me see if I could go back here and see what is going on. Uh, I don't get it. 1 minute. I don't get it. What is going on with this one here? It's doing like it did yesterday with the other page, and I don't. All because it's telling me to update something, and as if there's something that's needed to be updated. 1 minute. I'm going to drop this one, and then. Uh, It's strange. It's something strange. Let me try to go back, close it down and go back. Oops, let me try that. There it is again. I'm sorry. I'm trying to see why is this. Uh, Seeing if I can upload this again. One minute. Now let me try that now. Okay, let me see here. That might do it there. But it's time to ask questions. Let's hope that this is in. This is open. And I'm sorry about that. I had the same problem yesterday with the other channel regarding the same situation. But what we're going to talk about is questions. Let's ask questions. And on top of it, the Spirit spoke to me today, and I am at peace with what He was saying to me. This don't mean that you should be at peace with what He's saying to me. You need to seek Him one-on-one. But what He was explaining to me as I was doing a lot of verse and chapter searching, trying to make sense with things that has no sense to it, and realize that what He meant by transitioning is a total different way of how we are approaching, how we shall approach the people today. The transitioning in which He's speaking of to me is to transition out of the norm and go strictly spirit and truth, go strictly the light. That means I'm going to be saying things that many people have never heard. Okay. They have read and they have understood it, but they understood what they read totally out of the realm of the spirit. So what He was telling me today was kind of back away from the book. Mm-hmm. The end days is bringing the power. And He wanted me to understand that He have taught me that the book is not the power. So if I'm going to bring spirit and truth in the light, I have to bring it strictly from the spirit realm. Okay. So it has to come with power. And this is not a power that can be found in these books. So I'm going to tell you why He said it. because he explained it to me. All these books that everyone is swinging and knocking people over the head with and teaching from and ministering from. These books, he said, have been here since man has created them. He said even the scrolls have been here since the beginning of time. But he informed me this, y'all. Listen to what he said. No one followed them. No one abide by them. No one rest righteous on them. No one walked in them. No one spoke out of them. You see? So he's saying this end time, the reason why I did, y'all, I asked a question that was really far out. My question was to him, well, okay, if the gospel going to be preached in the end, like now, and we in the end day, well, what was that they was preaching before? I got some stupid questions. I bring it before the Most High quick. I said, well, what was that? What was that called? They've been doing all this time. They were doing it without the power. They didn't have the power detached to it. So he's saying your transition is transitioning in such a powerful way that even if you have to stand alone, stand. Because the transitioning wanting you to bring out the gospel of the kingdom. And that's the word from the kingdom with power. This book can't bring the gospel. Nothing that holds words can't bring the gospel. Only the one that he lives in with the word can bring the gospel of the kingdom. So this is what he's saying. Makes a whole lot of sense to me. But I'm going to tell you the truth. When he said that, I was like, I wrote all this here stuff down. And he was like, the transition, Deborah. You got to transition away from leaning to it as if it's going to bring the power of understanding. And it's going to shine the light on all things that is in darkness. No, this is a different transition. That's why he said, and then the end. Because he's going to give them something they never had before. If they thought they had the gospel of the kingdom, they ain't heard nothing yet. That's what he said. So now I'm back to the drawing board, and I'm with him with it. I salute him in everything he gives me and he say to me, because let me tell y'all the truth, no person on this earth could have told me that. Nobody but the Most High Yah. No one could have taught that. No one can preach that. Only one could tell us something like that is the Most High Yah himself. So I'm going to do a lot of that, and I'm going to show you exactly out of something that I had picked up. I think I had this probably 2 or 3 years. I got it. I think it was at a state sale. It was a folder, and it had a lot of verses in it. And the other day I was just sitting down waiting for my appointment, and I looked in it and I saw verses and I read it. I said, but wait a minute. This is not what this is not what they've been teaching the people. This is not what they've been preaching to the people. This here showing something, this telling something. There's some power in this. So I said that fit this situation that we're about to talk about today. And it's not a situation that we're about to talk about. I think I can just say it pretty much more than enough. The gospel of the kingdom in this day have come with power. The word is come with power and light. Okay? That's it, y'all. You ain't gonna have it no other way. I don't have to come from King James 16, King James, and all these other books. I don't have to go, no. That's for y'all. That ain't for me. He gave me the final word. I can speak out of it. But the mission of transitioning is speak what's in you, not what's on the outside of you. Many of you wouldn't even grip that in spirit and truth. Speak what's on the inside, not what's on the outside. See, a lot of people today, 99 point trillion, when they want to teach, preach, all these religions, they want to come from a book. But the greatest book live within, not only out. See, within they can't touch that. They can't. That's why I told y'all yesterday, when they come down to spirit and truth and the light, they won't go nowhere near that. They don't go nowhere near it. And I don't blame them. I really don't. So I pulled out 4 verses out of here because I thought it was very interesting. And they are verses that's in here. But then I'm going to show you what he was saying when he said the King James Bible and the 1611 and all these Bibles, all these lost books, all these found books, strolls, everything been here all this time. Ain't nobody following none of it. You know what? Saying that to me, he said it to the right person. The Most High said it to the right person because I believe that 100. I believe that. Shalom, shalom, everyone in the live chat. I believe that 100 because that's my cry. That's my cry. That's why he always had to tell me, Deborah, get in your lane. These things need to be. Get in your lane. Because that's why. Because I battle with the fact that when it's all preached and taught to you, you're still so far distant in the middle of the ocean. Don't know nothing about dry land. Been in the ocean too long. And that's how I feel. So I get it, Father. I get it. You know I got it. Because greater is you that's in me than he that's on the outside of me. So I get it. I get it from the one that's greater. I get it. So today we're going to ask questions. And the question is questions that you yourself might have within that you might be battling with. We're going to ask those questions. And if it takes too long for someone to ask a question, I'm going to pull up in what the example of him speaking to me about they don't follow it. And like I said to y'all, he picked the right one to say that to. The Most High picked the right person to say that to. I mean, he picked the right one because that's how I feel. I feel like, well, Father, this book, they said they don't follow this. They talk about Torah. They talk about the commandments. They talk about the name. They talk about all of that. Guess what, y'all? If you could see in the spiritual realm how distant they are from all of it, you'll wonder, well, what were they talking about? What are they talking about? What are they preaching? What are they teaching? How did they get these mega churches? How did they get these pastors? How did they get it? I remember when the COVID was out, and I kept telling people that it's connected to the mark of the beast. The Father was dealing with me on how everything that is said, they don't understand. It's not going according to the way it is read. You see? Why? Because you didn't want the Ruach. Nobody wanted the Ruach. They didn't want the spirit of Yah living in them, in their spirit. Nobody wanted it. They wanted everybody to teach it from the outside. They didn't want the true teacher from the inside. So it's over. He don't want to be in you no way. How about that? He don't want to be in you no way. How about that? Because that makes a lot of sense for him to say, okay, Deborah, now you this is I said, and the gospel of the kingdom shall be preached. And then in the end, so you know it's something got to pull up. It's the power. It's the light of the power and the power of the light. And it is his word that carries the power. And it's not coming to carry power to wake and shake people up. He said, get up. It's time to go, y'all. Get it right. Justice and righteous. No. That's not what it's coming to do. It's coming to end this time. The power's coming. Didn't the power come to bring you forth? Did not the word speak the kingdom of the gospel of the kingdom Did not it preach to create everything? It created everything with that same power. And it told you in the beginning. Here he telling you, I'm going to wrap it the same way at the end. How about that? And then the end. The gospel of the kingdom shall be preached. And then the end. Wait a minute. Because he was saying it to everybody in the beginning. And he's saying it to you at the end. So the power of who Yah is showing you how he going to wrap this thing up. Like he built it up. Yeah, that's what he's going to do. So I'm like, okay. So when I go into it, I'm like saying, okay, do I read out of it? Do I get? Yes, I don't have to bring the power, Deborah, out. If I give you something to speak that. If I clam on something you're saying, let me clam as tall as you can let me, not you can let me, I can clam. So what you might not understand is still speaking. So what you might not get it, Deborah, still speaking. Because that's what's happening. Matthew chapter 24 and verse 14. The gospel of the kingdom shall be preached to all nations into the world and then. And it ain't coming to make you right. It ain't coming to make you wrong. You are what you are. He said, what did he tell him? He said, he that is crooked, if he already crooked, he that is crooked, let him remain crooked. So I'm trying to say to y'all, he said at that end of where the gospel should be preached of the kingdom, which is the power, he ain't coming to train. The gospel ain't being preached for you to change. You done had it all this time and ain't took a step. Nowhere near it. Because it's already in you who you are. So he ain't coming to try to wipe away what's in you. No, he ain't. Or correct what's in you. If that's the case, what would he need the angels and Markians for? If he think you got the ability to correct something that you done, or that you can correct something to get into kingdom. Why are you marking their forehead then? Because they can't do nothing themselves, Deborah. Unless I. That's how it always been from the beginning. And we forsake the power therein. And we went on in this whole world living the way that we have been living without him, living in us, being there for us, calling on him, desiring him, wanting him. And we still the same worship today that we were then. So let's see if anyone have any questions. Okay, let's see. Okay. Yes, they make exactly. Very well said. Very well said. They have made it their source. That's what he's saying. He said, so at that end, don't be pulling out the book. I'm going to be giving you messages. And this is to all the servants of the Most High God. He's going to be giving messages to us to bring forth. But it's going to carry power. Why is the Bible so twisted? And I find it so difficult when I read it. So I do understand we need the Spirit to understand it. Very good. Very good. That's the only way we're going to understand it. And I'm going to be honest with y'all. That's the only way I understood it. You might look at me and say, well, Deborah, how did you know how you know? It's through that Spirit. You are 100% correct. I am a bottle spirit, spiritual, mental. Me. I am a bottle spiritually, mentally. What do you mean? You're a bottle spiritually and mentally. What do that mean? Okay. Can we ask you, what does that mean? I am a bottle, spiritual and mentally. So let me show y'all something he was allowing me to do. Because I don't be counteracting the Most High, y'all. I said, now, this folder, I said, now, it has some verses in there. I had already read it, I think it was like 3 days ago. So I thought, okay, can I bring that one up? Watch this here. Let me show y'all what I'm talking about. And I know I'm going to get in trouble for this. I know I'm going to get in trouble because this is the problem I have always had since I was a young person. I don't know how to go in and pull out. Because you know why? Why is it Sister Deborah would say she don't know how to go in and pull out? Why would I say that? Why would I say I don't know how to go in and pull out? Because I don't have no earthly sense. I don't have no earthly sense. But I got a lot of spiritual sense. But I don't have no earthly sense. I really don't. So when I go into this, I'm going into this and I'm like, wait a minute. I'm seeing it. I'm seeing it. I understand it. I'm gripping this. So let's go. We're going to do one of them. We're going to do one of them. Okay. Here go one. The Gospel of John, chapter 5 and verse 24. I'm going to show you what exactly I mean when I say I don't have sense, earthly sense, because I don't know how to just go into something, read it, and pull out. But I got spiritual sense enough to know that it's more than what it appeared in the earthly sense. It's more in it in the spiritual sense. So I get stuck in the spiritual sense trying to break down something in the natural. I don't have no sense in the natural. Catch me on the other side. And that's the spiritual end. You get messed up on the floor. So let me show you an example of what he was saying when I went to trying to be smart to the Most High. Y'all said, well, okay, when I got a few of these verses in this here thing, I had it 3 years. I got it at a state sale. And I liked it because I never used it. 3 days ago, I pulled it up and I saw some verses. I said, but wait a minute. How could that be? Wait. So the Father is allowing me, he is suffering me to bring it forth to you just to show you exactly what I mean when I say I don't have no earthly sense, but I got spiritual sense. Okay, someone else is do you think that yeah, it's not that they no. He's not calling people to work in the vineyard. He's calling them that's already there. He ain't hiring nobody. He done fired everybody that don't belong in the vineyard. He's only going to work with those who are already in the vineyard. They've been there. They've been there a long time. Ain't nobody paid them no attention. Ain't nobody listened to them. Ain't nobody heard. He using them. Okay? So he's not going to call people nowhere. The calling has been called out. You see? So he's using those that's already been laboring in the vineyard. Oh, yes. Yeshua said what? Pray to the Father. Wait a minute. Yeshua, what you mean? Ain't you the Father? I thought they said you was the Father. Pray to the Father that he may send. Wait a minute, Yeshua. Why do the Father have to send them if you are the Father? That he may send more what? Laborers into the vineyard. You know why he's saying that? Because y'all ain't finna send nothing into the vineyard that heaven ain't already assigned. Yeah. That's what it's about. Oh, yeah. So here, the vineyard, if you only knew the people who've been laboring year after year after year after year in the vineyard have not been recognized, have not been identified, he's using them. He ain't going to cut them out to bring other people that's out there lollygassing in to the vineyard to labor for what? The work is done. All he needs to do is take those that's already in there and suffer them to come to the highest level of spirit and truth and the light to bring that power, add that power, put that level of power on what they see. That's it. It's over. Okay. Now, I'm going to do this card and I'm going to show y'all the example with Sister Deborah. And I'm going to tell y'all, a lot of y'all ain't paid attention that Sister Deborah been saying this for years. For years. That I ain't got no sense. A lot of y'all didn't know what I was talking about, but I'm going to give you a little shot of it right here. Okay? Let's see. The book is, is a conflict with the Ruach speak to me. Yes. Mm-hmm. And it's designed for that. That study God is the greatest deception. Yes, sir. Mm-hmm. You're right. It's the greatest deception. And they did an excellent job deceiving this by this. Yes, because that's what Satan used. That's what he allowed them. He didn't allow them. The Jesuits was doing everything to work for Satan. You see, the pyramid, those that rule the world, is doing all his dirty dirt because all he want to do is deceive them. You see, and they showed him, hey, when you can kill, steal, and deceive them. And destroy them too at the same time. Satan said, good for me, as long as I get that victory of deceiving them, because that's what I come down to do. See, a lot of people didn't understand. Let me tell y'all something that you don't know about my Most High Yah. If you called to be a prophet, you called to be a pastor, you called to be a priest, you called to be a minister of music, you called to be a prayer warrior, whatever you called to be, check. Satan called to deceive. See, a lot of people don't know that. His mission is to deceive the whole world. You think y'all gonna let him come down here and do something opposite of what he's son is there down here to do? No. That's why I say y'all need to check yourself so you'll understand who you're dealing with. Y'all ain't nothing to be played with. See, that's why I say people wants to make it look like here goes Satan on this left side and here go y'all. And they use a fool and a fool and a fool of a fool. And Satan will call you use a stupid fool if you believe I'm going to battle with him. What do I look battling with the one that created me? I acted fool one time and he just slapped me all the way down. But look what he did. He allowed me to come down here and clown. He has that much respect for him. Too bad we don't. To know that he controlled all this. He always will and all. Okay, I need self-control to control my emotions. Okay, your emotions is your flesh. Okay, so if your flesh is controlling you, you need to go back to the altar. And the altar is the Father himself. The altar is not somebody else. It's not a building. It's not a pastor. It's not a bishop. It's not your parents. It's not your wife. It's not your husband. The altar is strictly the Holy One, the creator of it all. That's the real altar. You need to go back to that altar. And you know what you do? You need to repent. You need to repent from putting your flesh over him. You need to repent and tell him in a way that you feel your repentance. That you don't want your flesh over you. You want him to continue to be over you. And if you at this time still, your flesh is still got the victory over you, you got to think about what your flesh is. You got to really think about what your flesh. And a lot of times our flesh battle us. Why? Because they know what our spirit is. You see? But he said, get the flesh under the subjection. Emotions and feelings, they all detached to the flesh. They have no dealing with the spirit. So you got to step into that realm and see where your spirit. Now you got a spirit. See what Yah is doing with it. Okay, so don't need self-control over your flesh. He said, get your flesh under the subjection to your spirit. So if your flesh is ruling you, that's dangerous. You know why? It's dangerous because in this day and time, your spirit should have some dominion right now. If it's not 100 over your flesh. And the number one thing it should be over your flesh emotions, your flesh feelings, your flesh wisdom, your flesh knowledge, and your flesh understanding. Is it a hard thing? Yes, because that's what your flesh fight against. It fight with your emotions and your feelings. That's where it thinks it can win. They go to the altar, and that is the altar of the true creator. Nobody, no human flesh can get you there. Your spirit can take you all the way to that altar. For real, for real. And I say that to any and every one of y'all. Your spirit can take you straight to the altar of the Most High Yah. Don't go there. with a submissive heart. Oh, a repentant heart. Don't go there with a dead body. Oh, he gonna respond. Because that's how you got to come to him. You got to come to the Most High with everything dead outside of your spirit, crying out to him. So that's the main thing you need to do in with the time, in a time like this, in such a critical time as this. Okay, conflict. The book is a conflict. What the Ruach is speaking to me. That's right. And Yah will allow you to see the difference in the book and in what he's saying to you. And that's what he's saying. He said right now it's time to listen to what he's saying to you. That's the highest level of speaking in this day and time. That's that transition and he's talking about. That's where we should be speaking now, to where people are going to walk up to you. People are going to want to talk to you. People are going to desire to hear you. People are going to want to hear what you got to say. People are going to be seeking you. People are going to be looking at you, wondering, wait a minute, what's that on you? You know why? Yah is not sending you out to do something without the tools that he has embedded in you to do it. Okay? He ain't sending you out there half-cocked. Greater is he that's in you than he that's in the world. When he allow us to see him to be all that and some, and everything else, it's not even second or third, but fifth and sixth and seventh, way in the back, wall somewhere. It's because he wants you for himself. He wants to use you to bring out this power and to bring out it in the light. Bring this power out in light. And what happened? And the world will see it. Ooh, they're going to be the witness that sees that the power of the word. You see people right now trying to figure out, now they ain't trying to figure out, they're talking about all these things now that they finding out. All nationalities are talking about it, y'all. They still ain't got the power. Ain't that deep? And not only is it deep, it's sad. Okay? Another one. It's over. Wheat and tear are growing together at this time. He said he's done the separation among that. The season, I ask, is because I remember the parable about him calling those ones in the last hours that were standing around. But I understood what you were saying, okay? Those that were standing around, they were standing around. They weren't laboring. Mm-hmm. They weren't laboring. The one that was standing around, they weren't laboring. There's another group. I think he did it 1, 2, 3. And he asked them that was standing around the third time, and they said nobody hired them. And I think that pull up that verse, somebody, so you can see. And see what you just did is you just dropped what they call a monkey wrench into the message. Pull up that verse. Pull up that verse, and then you'll see the level of where he's calling those to speak spirit and truth with the light. And it's called the power in Matthew chapter 24 and verse 14. Pull up that verse and you'll see where many times he asked them, why were they standing? And I think it was maybe twice, maybe 3 times. And it was the third group. Hey, what are the third group? The last group. Praise the mighty God. That's the example of what he's saying to you all today. Those who speak in spirit and truth with the light, it's time to pull up with the word and the power together. They want to teach this word without the power. We are transitioning into the power and the word. We can't get out here and teach this word because he wants it to be recognized with the power for the kingdom. The gospel of the kingdom is not with word. It is with power. So if we can get that verse pulled up, that'll help us out a great deal. And you said, the reason I asked is because I remember the parable about him calling those ones in the last hour that were standing around, but I understood what you are saying. But we need to pull that up. Those that he was, because you'll notice that he did it I think it's 2 or 3 times. And the last ones took on the position. Okay. Is that the parable of the sword? No, those who paid a penny, he gave them he paid them all the same. Woo, I love that. Woo. You know what that's telling me? See, Deborah, I'm telling you, this is the end. Okay? And the one that was first ain't going to get above those who's going to labor in the end. We all are going to get equal. And that's the whole idea of that parable. You don't know that's why you brought the parable up, but Yah knows that's why it's brought up. Okay, let's see. That's in Matthew's chapter 20, verse 1 through 16. Let's see here. Matthew's chapter 20. Let me get there. I'm going to show you an example. Chapter 20. Okay, let's go there. Watch this here. Watch this very careful. I want you to listen to this. In Matthew's chapter 20, verse 1, for the kingdom of heaven is like unto a man that is an householder, which went out early in the morning to hire laborers into his vineyard. Okay. And when he had agreed with the laborers for a penny a day, he sent them into the vineyard. Okay. Those are the laborers. He sent them into the vineyard and went out about the 3rd hour and saw others standing idle in the marketplace. And he said unto them, go ye also into the vineyard, and whatsoever is right, I will give you. And they went their way. So he's telling you at the beginning, Deborah, I had it nailed. He's telling you at the beginning, I had it nailed. I sent the laborers into the vineyard. But as time go on, nobody want to go in and do what they got to do. That's why he's making this the last and then the end. Now listen to what he says here in 3. And he went out in verse 3. And he went out about the 3rd hour and saw others standing idle in the marketplace. Now watch this. And he said to them, go ye also into the vineyard, and whatsoever is right, I will give you. And they went their way. They didn't go into the vineyard. Verse 6. Now verse 5. And again, he went out about the 6th hour and did likewise. You see that? There it go again. They didn't go into the vineyard to labor. Yeah, you see what I'm saying? Now, if y'all don't get this, something wrong with you. You short a long way. You're a long way from home. A long ways from home. Because you dropped it, but you didn't know the reason why you was dropping it. Y'all felt the need that this is the example of exactly what I'm sitting here telling you. We at the end, and he's sending the laborers with the power and the word and the light to speak in this day and then the end. To where he's telling us they didn't go. Now he said they didn't go when? In the 3rd hour, they didn't go when he sent them to the vineyard. In the 6 hours, they didn't go. Let's see what happened on verse 6. And about the 11th hour, he went out and he found others standing idle. And he said unto them, why standeth ye here all day idle? And they said unto him, because no man has hired us. He said unto them, go ye also into the vineyard, and whosoever is right, that shall ye receive. That's what you're saying. Is I'm thinking that's what you're saying as far as, but it's the last one. It's the 11th hour. And he told them to go in to the vineyard, and whatever they do, whatsoever is right, that shall ye receive. That might be what you're saying as far as, could it be those that's he's sending in that was idle? You see what I'm saying? Listen to this. Verse 8. So when evening was come, the Lord of the vineyard said unto his steward, call the laborers and give them their hiring, beginning from the last until the first. And when, notice the last, you hear the last to the first, not the first to the last. Listen to what it's saying. Verse 8. So when, and when even was come, the Lord of the vineyard said unto his servant, come and labor and give them their hire. And he telling him, beginning from the what? The last unto the first. Why? Do y'all understand that? Because the last is where we transitioning into right now. We pulling the kingdom down with the word and the power. You see? It was no reason to pay the last first when they all gonna get the same thing. Why not pay it to the first? But y'all saw fit something important about starting it from the last. You see? To the first. To the beginning. And right here in verse 7, where you say that he sent them in, this here into the vineyard. They were in the 11th hour went out and found others standing idle and said to them, why standeth thou all day idle? Okay. You see that? And what do they say? And they said unto him, because. We got to get that broke down. Guess what happened? Do you see what happened? Look at verse. I'm gonna see if you can pinpoint it. Verse 6. And both. That's why I told you I ain't got no sense in the natural. Pull up on me in the spirit. I'm gonna show you how much sense I got. Look at verse 6. And about the 8th hour, he went out and found others standing idle, and said unto them, why standeth ye here all day idle? And they said to him, because no man has hired. No man, let me get one that's standing. Then they said, standing, because, wait a minute, let me get back to where I'm at. No man has hired us. The other ones just didn't go. They went their way. But the one that stood in the 11th hour were waiting. They were waiting to be sent to the vineyard. They had what it take or what it took. They were waiting. Listen to what it says, verse 7. And they said unto him, because no man has hired us. He said unto them, go ye also into the vineyard. See, they respond to him while they standing. The other ones didn't respond. They just didn't go. They did not go. In verse 3. And when he went out and saw them standing on the side idly in the marketplace, he said, go ye into the vineyard, whatsoever is right, I will give unto you. And they went their way. Then they did likewise in the 9th hour. But in the 11th hour, they said, hold up, we have not been hired. Meaning, ain't no one sent us in. But y'all is saying today, I'm sending you in because you've been here waiting. You see? And they went. Because they said no man had hired us. The other ones, He told them to go. They didn't go. The third hour didn't go. He told them to go. He didn't go. The ninth hour, he told them to go. They didn't go. But the 11th hour, he asked the question. Why were they? He asked him the question because he wanted you to know there's something different about the 11th hour. That's the midnight hour. That's the end. Before what? The end. And all they would do standing there, waiting to be placed for this end day hour. You see, the other ones, they went their way. Even he assigned them to the vineyard. The third hour, go, he said. What was the next one? The ninth hour, he said, go. But the 11th hour, they said, hold up. He said, why are you standing? They said, because we haven't been sent to go. And he said, go. And they went. Do you see the mystery? Now, what bothers me is what I just said is exactly what he said. It carries a lot of power. And it can go over your head quick. It just broke down to you why the 11th hour was willing. Because it was waiting for the Yah to send them, just like he did the third hour, the ninth hour. The moment the 11 pulled up, he said, go, they went. But he asked the question to them, why are you standing idle? They say, because no man has hired us. They was waiting for his goal. And they went. When the other ones went not, when he told them to go. You see what I'm saying? So then it tells you in verse 6 and verse 8. So when evening was come, the Lord of the vineyard said unto them, the steward, call the laborers and give them their hiring, beginning with the last until the first. I tried my best to try to get y'all to understand that he saved the best for last. The 11th hour was just waiting for his right hand to say go. And when they time to go, that 11th hour is the ones that's coming to speak the word with power and power with word. That's what they're here to do. But I like how he rumbled when he said, pay him starting from the last. Now, what difference does it make? What end you all of them gonna get the same, but y'all is sending a message. If you can't grip that, something wrong. What sense does it make if you start from the last or the first? They're all getting the same thing. He's sending a message, you guys, that the last is deserving to be the first. Because they're going to have to take my word with the power to all the nation as I give it unto them. Not as the world give it, but as he give it to you from your spirit out. Not from your study and your books and your lost books, your found books, your 1611, but from what he's saying from within. You see what I'm saying? This here was dropped to just so that can be broke down. Because that's an example of transitioning. That's the example of transitioning. That's the example of transitioning. They came a short time. The 11th hour, almost midnight hour, pulling up. The worst time there is, they're going to pull up and get something into the vineyard. Do you understand what that means? Yeah, right. You see? That's how critical this time period is. That he's wanting us to understand there is a transitioning in the way we're going to speak and we're going to teach and we're going to speak this word. We're speaking it with power. You see, for this in the 11th hour. Okay. So that's a good one. That's a really good one. Now, this is also we're going to go back to the Gospel of John. Watch this one. Let's see what. Will we understand his perfect purpose will we understand his purpose and plan in difficult situation? We don't have to, but if that's the only way he's gonna get us to understand him, so shall it be. See, a lot of times that's how he got hold of Judah and Israel, but see, they still ain't got it. All the 400 years, they still ain't got the purpose. Oh, did I say that for real? Did I go there? I think I did. Did I go there? I think I did. Okay, you said the verse 16. Oh, yes. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. It's gonna level out because when you said that, I'm like, wait a minute. There was something in that category where he had hired them, then he had hired the third, and he had hired. I knew it was 3 sections, but now I see it was 4. It was the first one, and then it was the third, it was the 9th, and it was the 11th hour. Okay, because I think even the one at the first one said, "Wait a minute, we labored. It's not you ain't done nothing. So what? You was the first hiring. You ain't done nothing." They had to pick it up all. They had to pick up all the slack. Those is coming in this midnight hour. Okay. So in the Gospel of John, chapter 5 and verse 24, here there is again another where I say I don't have sense in the natural, but I got it in the spirit. Let's go there. I'm thinking this is, I don't know if this is the King James, but I don't know. It came out of this thing that I had purchased at a estate sale. It had verses in it. And this here, I want to kind of line up with what Yah is saying and getting on. And I'm going to break it down what he's trying to say. Not trying. Father, forgive me. What he is saying to me. Okay. In the Gospel of John, chapter 5. First and foremost, do anybody have any more questions? Any questions? We're going to ask questions tonight. Okay, here we go. In the Gospel of John, chapter 5, verse 24. Verily, verily, I say unto you, he that heareth my word and believeth on him that sent me has everlasting life. Let me go there. I'm going to show you why I would have never thought that I would be a person on YouTube speaking and teaching it, because I don't have the sense to go in it and pull out and get somewhere and sit down. I don't have that sense to do that. It's too much to see to be ducking in and out like it ain't nothing there. Okay, so in the Gospel of John, chapter 5, and we go to verse 24, and it reads, Verily, verily, I say unto you, he that heareth my word and believeth on him that sent me have everlasting life, and shall not come into condemnation, but is passed from death unto life. But is passed from death unto life. Yeshua is saying something here in the Gospel of John, chapter 5. And he's saying, I say unto you, he that heareth my word and believe on him that sent me. Why didn't, why? How could people be confused with the fact that the Son of Man is using one of the brands to detach you to life? Why can't they see that? Is this the Son of Man or is this the Son of Yah? Why can't they see that somebody sent him? Hold up, who is this that sent him? This one verse shine light. This one verse brings spirit and truth. This one verse. And what did he say? This book, they don't even believe in it or live by whatever they read. They can't find Yah, spirit and truth. They can't find his light because it has to be in them, not in a book. They have to be able to have that spirit of Yah in them to be able to move into this book and see Yah and hear Yah and understand Yah beyond what man has smeared. Listen to what it says. Verily, verily, I say unto you. Who are you saying that to? Who is he saying that to? His disciples. He ain't saying it to the multitude. He's saying it to his disciples. He that heareth my word. When Yeshua talked, he says, he that hears my words with an S. But this one here says, he that heareth my word and believe it. I lost y'all tonight. I know y'all lost tonight. Because nothing I just said will penetrate. This is what he was talking about, the transition. Because this verse right here alone carry much spirit and truth and the light. That means the power of the word has always been not in the book, but in the presence of Yah. When the book is spoken, the Ruach will break it down in you. Because man has smeared the book so bad to where you can't see. That's why it's important to have the Ruach HaKodesh, so he can teach you all things. Now, here it is, the year 2025. Let's say this book been here for quite some years. Why haven't all the bishops, the priests, the apostles, the prophets, the prophetess, the Moorings, the seers, why haven't no one ever questioned? Verily, verily, I say unto you. But let's bump it. Let's go on, bump it up to 23. Matthew's, no, this the Gospel of John, chapter 5 and verse 23. That all men should honor the Son, even as they honor the Father. He that honor not the Son, honor not the Father, which has sent him. You see? Tell me what's in the rats behind how all these denominations and religion can turn this to be something that it does not say. And it's standing there looking at it. This is what the Spirit was saying today. They don't go by nothing, Deborah. They don't take heed by nothing. So he said they can even pull up the straws and they still wouldn't go by it. A lot of them talking about, well, that ain't what it says in the straws, or they that ain't. He said, don't matter. So the end gonna pull up with the gospel of the kingdom. And it ain't gonna matter either. I just want to start it like just want to end it like I started it, with word and power. Woo! That's it. Y'all look at me all cockeyed if you want to. The word is, and the word was with him. It was with him in the beginning. You just missed it. It was what he spoke for his power to bring forth. All that the word spoke. So here he's telling us, I need my servants that I'm putting forth, the last laborers, the workers, just as it was in the beginning. You're going to bring word and you're going to bring power. And it's going to be a witness to all nations in the world. And then the end. Woo! He started it like he ended. And we running around here thinking we know something. We're a long way from home and too ignorant to realize it. So what did he say? Listen to this. In verse 23, the Gospel of John, chapter 5, verse 23. That all men shall honor the Son, even as they honor the Father. He that honor not the Son honors not the Father, which sent him. So word on the line, are they saying Jesus is the Father? 99.9 believe that. They taught it in the church. They still teaching it. That's the lie. You see? Here it's actually telling you something sent. The one that sent him, you must honor him. Because when you honor him, you honor his Son. Going back to the name. People want to call up all these names. You can call up every name in the book. And then it ain't going to get you nowhere. You're just making a fool of yourself. Because greater is he that's in you than he that is in the world. And let me tell you something. You want to know what a name is at? You want to talk about the name? How about in you? The power. The Ruach HaKodesh. Y'all playing. Calling all these names out for what? And hope that you got it right. That's dangerous. If he's greater in you, he's greater than the name that you're trying to master. You have to know him from the inside, not the out. Our ugly mouth proclaimed the name, but our spirit knows him. You see? So here he says in verse 24, verily, verily, I say unto you, he that heareth my word. Now, when he said that, now if he would have said words, I would have said, yeah, that's Yeshua. That's Yeshua he talking about. That's Yeshua. That's Yeshua. But when he said the word, that's almost, that's Christ. That's Christ speaking. He said, he that heareth my word and believeth on me that sent me. Watch it. Has everlasting life. When did he say a name? Somebody come on, pull up. Tell the truth and shame the devil. 24:24. When does he say the name that gains life? He didn't tell you the name that gained life. That ain't what he said. See, I ain't got no sense. I know I don't, and I don't care. I don't need sense in this world. As long as I got it in the spiritual realm, that's the sense I need. That's the sense I'm going to keep. Because that's what I've been living by. The sense of the spirit that's greater in me. It gives me some sense. Because I know I ain't got no sense on the outside. Okay? So as he's sitting here saying the word, and he said, believe. And I'm saying, wait a minute, Father, believe this your brand. See, said, Deborah, they forget all of that. They don't have no sense for that. They don't have no spiritual sense, no natural. You see? That's what, that's your brand. His brand, righteous, belief, faith, and fear. Hope is in there too. But let me tell you something. Why is it and believe on him? Why was belief detached to hearing the word and believe? Notice the word and on him that sent me has everlasting life and shall not come into condemnation, but is passed from death to life. Sit y'all tails down thinking you know something. You don't know nothing. That's what's wrong right here today. That's why he had to send his last 11-hour laborers out. Because people have been laboring like fools. No one is laboring with the word that has the power and the power that has the word. Preaching this gospel from the kingdom, not from the earth. That's what people stuck on. They want to teach what's on the earth. They want to teach what they read. They want to teach what they understand. They want to teach what their wisdom and their knowledge gives them, what their flesh teaches them. They don't want to teach the power of the word and the word of the power that brings light in the midst of all this darkness. Because right here, as I'm listening to this, and then I try to go up and I look up and I say, I don't see Yeshua nowhere in sight. I don't see him. So that was Hamashiach letting you know. So when I grabbed that verse, I'm like, wait a minute, hold up, Father God, where you going with this? He said, that's the example of what I was telling you. They think they got it nailed. That's not spirit and truth, what you understand. That's not the gospel of the kingdom. The gospel of the kingdom is the truth of the whole matter. It's spirit and truth with the light in the right hand. Because that light is bringing and shining straight on that darkness, letting the darkness know you ain't got no victory here. Not in this. It's over and you ain't getting no victory in it. Truth going to rid. If he was in the beginning, was the word, and the word was Yah, and the word was with Yah. The word spoke and the power backed it up and landed down. So like it is in the end, so shall it be. In the end, he's going to do the same thing. The power and the word. Finna land this thing. And then the end. Matthew chapter 24 and verse 14. And then, Deborah, the end. So our job, that are the true laborers, that's the end day labor, we got to get out here. And I don't mean get out here and go out your door and run up and down the streets. And we got, no matter where we are speaking, we got to bring the power of spirit and truth. Because he said that all this time, watch this, they've been teaching, preaching, ministering, and instilling in people in all these synagogues, all these churches, all these places of worship. They've been doing it without the power. They didn't have the word all either. They had the smeared word, and then they didn't have the power. So you know what kind of position people are in right now? That broad gate that many there is. They go there in. Anybody have any questions? Okay, so I liked that. I like the fact that what I really like more than any. There you go. What I like more than anything is what Yah is saying for the end day. It allows you to kind of embrace him in a way of comforter and laying your head on his bosom to know that, you know, this is the sort of stuff that I always knew. I always felt, and I just couldn't put the pieces together. But I'm grateful to know that the end is the way that Yah has it set up. And it was set up the end like it was in the beginning, just showing who he is in his power. Okay, and I appreciate him for that, for just that alone. Someone got what is it, John, the Gospel of John, chapter 5, verse 22. For the Father judges no man, but has committed all judgment unto his Son. Okay, there you go. And you got to understand now. Watch this now. See, I'm telling you, I'm sorry. No, stop saying you sorry. I don't have no sense, but I got sense in the spirit realm. Let me see. Now, you said the Gospel of John, chapter 5, verse 22, is powerful verse. Do you understand what he's saying? Tell me what you understand about the Gospel of John, chapter 5, verse 22. For the Father judges no man, but has committed all judgment unto his Son. What do that mean? Anybody? In the Gospel of John, chapter 5, verse 22, the Father judges no man, but has committed all judgment unto his Son. Okay, you got it. Very good. Hamashiach. That's the Son. It's all the power is committed to. The one that came as represent Emmanuel. You see, he committed it to him. Okay, now let's get to the core of his power puncher. Okay, that's a good way of putting it. That's a good way of putting it. He's saying that Hamashiach is the one, Christ, as the world knows him. He's holding that. He's saying he's the power, had all power, committed all judgment unto his Son. He's talking to his own power, which is Christ, Hamashiach. Remember, it came down to help Yeshua. That's what Emmanuel was, Yah with us. See, a lot of people didn't know that. They don't know Emmanuel was Christ. That was Hamashiach that came down with Yeshua. They don't know that, even to today. They have no idea. That's why it says Yah with us. They don't get it. They don't get it. They don't get it. They don't get it. That's right. That's his right hand power. But guess what's beautiful about it? When you might say, somebody might say, well, how can you say that? That it's his Son, Hamashiach, Christ. How could you say that? It's because you should know by now. Yah already judged everybody from the kingdom. He is the Father. So it says here, listen to this. Verse 22, the Father judges no man. Do you get it? See, I told you I don't have no sense. So don't mess with me. I don't have no sense, and I don't have no problem not having no sense. Because right here, it's showing you a power punch. Let me see who can find it. In that one verse, 22, pull out the power punch. Let me see if anybody can pull out the power punch. In the Gospel of John, chapter 5, verse 22. Do you see a power punch there? You see a power punch there. Anybody? Do you see a power punch in verse 22? Committed. That could be. We're gonna find that what is resting on that. That's somewhat, but it's some power punching in there. Listen to what it says. For the Father, this is where I was explaining to you that I don't have the natural sense, but you catch me in the spirit realm. That's where you're gonna see me have sense. Now, right here, when you look at verse 22, listen to what it says. Listen to 22. For the Father judges no man. Man is what? Flesh. Yah judges no man. Yah judges no flesh. But when his Son, Christ, Hamashiach, down, he has given the power to judge that flesh. You see? He's telling you in verse 22 that the Father judges no man. You know why? Y'all don't deal with the flesh. He's about what he said. He said what he's about. He said he don't deal with your flesh. That's why he don't come in to your flesh. He come into your spirit. He let you know I don't have no dealings with your flesh. Don't come worshiping me in your flesh either. So that's why he can't judge the flesh. That's why he don't judge the flesh, because he has no dealing with the flesh. That's why he says, no man. Yah judges the spirit. The heart of the spirit of man. That's what he judges. And guess what? He already judged it. He got 2 books where he done judged one spirit here and one spirit here. Already judged. But he letting you know, hey, the Father, I don't go mess with that flesh there. But tell him who I am. I don't mess with that flesh. So all these people thinking that God, y'all gonna deal with them in the flesh realm, you don't mess with your flesh. He says here in 22, the Father judges no flesh, letting you to know, like he said, can't worship him in your flesh. You can only worship him in your spirit. He's constantly telling us, he do not abide in your flesh. He abide in your spirit. He letting you know he have no detachment. The Creator have no detachment to want to deal with your flesh. So he ain't gonna judge, but he's telling you right now, Hamashiach can judge you, that flesh. Oh yes, because I committed that power for him to do so. But I don't mean, but I committed that power when I put my spirit, my power, and my word into Yeshua. Now, the Son, Yeshua, Hamashiach, he can judge that flesh. But me, the Father, even though Hamashiach is the Father, he letting you know there's a separate way that it can be judged by the Hamashiach, but not by the Father. Ooh, if you read it, all it's telling you, trying to let you see the two and who they are. One was set by the other. Trying to let y'all see and trying to give y'all a feel of the difference between the two. A lot of people won't get it. It ain't a bad thing they don't get it. It's just that it's over. A lot of things ain't meant to take on in this day and time. It's just not there. It's not there for people to take it on. They not ready for it. And they will not, and they cannot take on it. There's people who will come in and they don't understand them. I need to say this. The Father was saying to me too, those that he's sending, he's sending that's out for this end days, that's going to preach the gospel of the kingdom. He's saying that it's not the judge. Don't bring judgment on what they are saying, or if it's to the point where it's saying something that maybe you can't really, how did he say it? You haven't really been able to digest or get, because it got to have the power to it. And if you didn't get it, it might not have been for you to get, but for them to receive it, you see, for them to put it out. But what I do understand, what I believe also is going to happen, there's going to be some that so overlearned within themselves, you're not going to be able to tell them nothing. They're going to be teaching this thing as if, hey, they got it and nobody else is going to ever get it, and I'm out here by myself doing it. Sister Deborah is not teaching you that. I'm telling you who he's sending out, who he's transitioning out for this end day. People, what about the people? The people going to be coming up on you, running up on you, trying to talk to you. People going to be trying to hear what you got to say. That's because you're going to be carrying that word and that power together as the way he wanted it from the beginning. Even that togetherness with man and woman, a unity into one, even though it's a oneness in the flesh. But if they get married and become equally yoked, it was to work together equally, even in the flesh, equal, even in the spirit, equal. That's how he made it. But all of that is gone down the drain. Nobody wants to abide by that. It's too late. Ain't nobody going to. So he said, close it up, speak it as if it's a new word on the earth. And then the end. And then the end. He's not going to stand around rumbling with us, begging us and pleading with us. to do something and to get it right and obey him, or to take heed to what he's saying, he's not going to do it. The Father is not going to do it. So I have a lot of verses here, and it is off the chain. And I know we're not going to be able to get to them, but I'm just still saying, listen to this. First John chapter 1, verse 7 and 9. It says, but if we walk in the light, as he is in the light. Now, if it tells you to walk in the light, as he is in the light, what is that telling you? What is that telling you, you guys? Why haven't they been preaching that? Why haven't they been teaching that? Why? This is what he was saying. Listen to this. First John chapter 1, verse 7 and 9. But if we walk in the light as he is in the light, he already in the light. And he's begging us to walk in the light. He's there already. Y'all, they teach a lot of things, but I understand today exactly what he meant. And this is a place that I know for a fact that I don't see. I don't see this, you guys. I don't see it. So let me read it again. In First John chapter 1, verse 7 and 9. But if we walk in the light as he is in the light, we have fellowship one with another. And the blood of Yeshua HaMashiach, his son, cleansed us from all our sin. What just happened there? Now I'm in trouble again. There's a lot of power punching in there. And it's exactly like he said. So much that been missed. It don't even make no sense to even go back. That's what he's saying. It don't even make no sense to even go back. It's just that much missing. People are missing so much to where it don't make sense to even go back. Now listen to this. First John chapter 1 and verse 7. But if we walk in the light as he is in the light, if he's already in the light, and he said, but if we walk in the light, do y'all see what I was just saying to y'all in the end? Spirit and truth and the light. That's the word and the power, y'all. You see? He's there already. He's there already. He's begging us to come on, y'all. Let's get up. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. He was telling those people who was in the marketplace standing around. The third hour they were standing around. He told them to go. They didn't go. The 6th hour to go. They didn't go. But the 9th hour, they said, we need somebody to tell us to go. Go. And they went. The 11th hour. So Yah is saying something today to many of us. It's time to get up and go. He already there in the light. Stop thinking that he ain't in the light. He's just telling us to go. No, he's there already. Now, listen to what it says, though. We have fellowship one with another. We have fellowship one with another. And the blood of Yeshua HaMashiach, the Son, cleansed us from all sin. Remember, Yeshua's mission was to cleanse us from all sin. From all sin. So he's telling you, get your butt up. So what, you went through this in life. So what, you going through this in life. So what, you had this issue in life. So what? Yeshua has cleansed your sin. Your sin's been wiped away. Come on, get the moving. Come to the light. I'm there already. Head to the narrow gate. I'm there already. Now listen to what it says in verse 7. But if we walk in the light as he is in the light, we have fellowship one with another. And the blood of Yeshua HaMashiach, his son, has cleansed us from all sin. Now, that's the purpose of Yeshua. He come to cleanse us from all sin. It was for everybody to be cleansed. But it ain't everybody going to walk in the light where he is already at. You see? He's telling us to add into this tradition, this transitioning. Head to the light. Okay? Now watch this here. And verse 8 says, if we say that we have no sin, we deceive ourselves and the truth is not in us. He's going back to tell you, so what you did? I don't want to hear about what you did. Yeshua cleansed that. Don't keep weeping and hoo-hooing and boo-hooing about the things you've done wrong. Listen to what he says. If we say that we have no sin, we deceive ourselves and the truth is not in us. Except the fact we didn't sin. Don't let that hinder you. Get your butt toward the light. Walk in the light. Verse 9. If we confess our sins, he is faithful and just to forgive us our sin and to cleanse us from all unrighteousness. So there he's letting us know that if we just confess our sin, own that thing. Then remember how Sister Deborah said, own that thing. Sometimes you got to feel that thing. That's owning it. And press on. Go on. He telling you, come. What did he say in verse 7? Walk. If you will walk in the light as he is in the light, just walk. Go on, y'all. We got so many things going on in our lives to where we are allowing it to hinder us from going on in toward the narrow gate, in the narrow gate. We there, y'all. It's over. All that's left is to speak spirit and truth. And that's coming from within. It's giving you the fullness from within. That's where you're going to find it. You're not going to find it from Deborah. You're not going to find it from nobody but what lives in you. And that's your spirit and his spirit in a oneness to balance everything. Okay? So he's saying is that it is this day that we're in. It's a time, not a time, but a day where speaking spirit and truth is all it's about with the light in your hand. And that means word and power. All this other stuff don't mean nothing. I was at a place where all these us was waiting to be seen. And this one lady, I was like, she talked about all kinds of stuff. Then all of a sudden, it was a good, not even 40 minutes later, she's going to talk about, y'all, let me tell y'all my dream. God told me to tell y'all that we better get right. We better get this. And I told her, I said, baby, and she was my age. I said, you know what, baby, you should have said that at the beginning. Don't ever hold back what God is having to want to tell somebody right now and talk about all this other stuff. She was shocked. And all the women around me said, ma'am, that is so right. That is because I don't care who you are. That don't even make no sense. You spent 40 minutes running your mouth when you should have been giving these people what you're giving them at the end instead of giving them that at the beginning. You want everybody to hear all these worldly matters. Then you're going to pull up and say, God told you to tell us. Or God told you to tell people. That should have been your first conversation and your last. And everybody was telling her that is so right. That it is. You can't beat that. Why? It's spirit and truth. We are in the end days. Nobody want to hear about all this old crap that's going on. We're in the end days. We want the word of the gospel of the kingdom. to be spoken in this day and time. And she was saying, you know what? And I told her, I said, that first and foremost, before he sent you to tell us, you first have to apply it to yourself. You need to apply that to yourself, because he first had to tell you, and you got to embrace it. You got to feel that thing, and then you come and tell us. But don't tell us at the end. Tell us that at the beginning, because we rather hear that than to hear all this other stuff. And I was thinking about the mark of the beast and all this other stuff that's going on. I really believe that a lot of people don't even know that they are sold out. I was trying to make, I know I shouldn't, but I was trying to make sense with what's all this tattooing? Why is everybody getting tattooed from head to toe? Everybody tattooed up. Everybody. I don't mean really like everybody, but what's the deal with the tattoos? I don't get it. What's the deal with the tattoos? All these tattoos. Everybody getting them. I mean, everybody. And then I'm in my little mind, I'm like, baby, we in the end days. Why are everybody tattooing themselves up like this? Anybody have any questions? Anybody? Unity in the spirit. That's it. The spiritual backpack is in us. Within. That's right. They're ready to go. But what about when the strangers come? Because they coming. The whole key of the transition is not just you preaching the gospel of the kingdom. You're going to have people coming to you, you guys, in what you're going to be seeing. You get what I'm saying? They're going to be coming. They're going to be wondering, well, what is this you saying? What do you mean? What do you do? Just be ready to stay firm in what the voice of the Most High is speaking to you. Because, see, it's not going to be as easy as y'all think. It's not going to be that easy. Because it's going to be people looking at you, paying you some attention when they used to didn't. They're going to start talking to you, communicating with you, trying to get out of you what Yah placed in you. They don't know what it is, but you do. And you're going to start to feel that, and you're going to wonder, Sister Deborah lost her mind. Because that's where we at. That's a part of the transition. Yes, and they just seem like they just pulling it all down their legs, on their feet, on their arms, on their head, in their faces, necks. And I'm like saying, what is that going on? It just, I don't know. Let's see here. Yep, quicker than and powerful than a two-edged sword. That's right. Piercing, even dividing as under of the soul of the spirit, the body and the spirit, and the joints and the bone marrow. Bone marrow. Yeah. Discerner. Yep. Thoughts. That's right. I got it. The light is Yah. But yeah, that's just I reason why I said about the tattoos, I was trying to figure out what is that leading to, and what is leading people to do that. You know, mentally, I know if it's mentally, if it's fleshly, then it has to be detached with some darkness. I mean, what would be the purpose? You know, why would someone want to cover themselves that way? It's just really strange to me and I was driving today and I see a lot of people picking out a whole bunch of Europeans with signs talking about abortion and a woman's right. And I said, Father, there's so much going on in the world, and you mean this is what they got to talk about? All that this is about to come onto this land. And you know what it reminded me of? It was a movie called Where the World Was Ending, and they was coming from the sky or something coming down, and people looking up at it, worshiping it, and with their little signs, and I forgot the name of that movie. But when I saw all these people, that many people out, you know what I thought? I thought, Father, so much is going on. Why can't people come out for the real issues that's taking place? Why is it people are caught up in issues that has no? It's just amazing. How could you be out there all morning and night picketing, and all this stuff is going on in the world? How? I just don't get it. Sister Deborah, I was reading Amos 8:1, his vision of the basket of the summer fruit, last fruit of the harvest. Okay. That's us. We are the children of Yah in the end time. Okay. That's what I'm talking about. Some of us abused. Yep, that's it. Okay. To want to worship your flesh, to want to do it. It's just real. If the number of people that's doing it, that's what really gets me. I'm trying to make, it don't make any sense. The number of people that's out here doing this. And another thing is a lot of distraction about things that don't mean anything, but it's a part of, you know what? The BRICS, they're not going to be able, they're the power punchers. I think they're going to land the last, not the last, the before the last. I think they're going to do something to the United States before the thing come from above. But this one world system, boy, I'm gonna tell you something. The more and more the Father is revealing to me what's all underneath these grounds and in these tunnels, I said, Father, if that's not Satan's residence, if this country is not Satan's place, how did they get away with building them things? I was looking at it here in the state that I'm in, and Kansas City, y'all. It just did something to my spirit to see them have built these type of places underneath the ground. And what they got down there, they showing you now. Everything is in the clear. Everything is out in the opening. They just letting you see everything. They letting you see it all. It's all, and without a cost. That is so true. But I had no idea. I always was told that in Missouri it would be one of the places that if they wanted to destroy this country, that would be one of them. But let me tell y'all what they were showing that they had down underground in Kansas City. I was like, can they do that, Father? Yeah. CERN ain't nothing. Ain't got nothing. CERN has nothing on what these people are doing. It is off the chain. And I say, no wonder this is Satan's residence, this country. And all it does, it leads me to fully understand why he says he's going to destroy this country. Because you sit back and you wonder, why this one? It all makes sense. Because we ain't got sense enough to grip what has been here and what is here as our form of eye-opening, or light on, or seeing things for what it is, so we can be able to teach this thing in a way of showing people when this is why this country has to go down. But y'all, when they show what it don't make no sense. I know New York got it, but I'm telling you, and I know Chicago got it, but when they start to show you stuff 20 miles underneath the ground and then showing you what it is and letting people walk through, and I said, Father, who could have been? Mm, 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 mm. And then they had audacity to try to get you to understand the pyramids. Let me tell y'all something. What they building underground pyramids ain't got nothing on it. I'm gonna tell y'all right now. And that's what I said. The pyramids would be the distraction to throw you off. But what this country did and what they have built underneath the ground, let me tell y'all, the pyramids above the ground ain't got nothing on what they didn't build under the ground. That's deep to me. And I know under the pyramids, they have, that's where they got it from. That's where they got this whole ideal of going down. And at the, what's that place that has ice, Anarchy or whatever, all kind of stuff is down there. And I know it is. And I know it is. I know it is. I always knew it was. And I said, that's why they keep people from out there. And if you go anywhere near there and they suspect, you'll never be seen again. Never will. They will never let you be seen again. Yep, we are witnessing Matthew 15. Mm-hmm. Yep. Do you see the importance for Yah to make sure that He's going to have His? And I'm gonna tell y'all some another thing I'm learning. I'm learning a whole lot on this racial, this color stricken, and this different nationalities. Now, did Sister Deborah know this? Yes, she did. But I still believe that Yah had the people that He chose. He had chosen to be something He convert, because they ain't had no sense since they've been here. But I think He's chosen them to convert them, to show His power in them. You see, after the world will see them to be nothing because they have conducted themselves like that. But when I think of heaven and I think of the kingdom, it's not one race going to be there, y'all. Ain't that deep? It's not one race going to be in the kingdom. It's not going to be a black, white, Chinese, Russian. That's not how y'all rumble. That's not the end. That's not how he ever rumbled. It was always spirits. Always spirits. So all this clowning and lying down here on the earth, who's who and what's what. Do He have a chosen people that He has chosen? Yes. Just like He chose a cow to be a cow, a pig to be a pig. He can do that. He's the I am. He can choose whatever He wants. So he chose a people to be a people where He's going to get His glory out of them at the end, because they've been conducting themselves so horrible down here on the earth. And He only makes sure that He put His spirit in those who's going to return from that, Israel and Judah. But when you think about heaven and you ever sit back and you really think about it, ain't no flesh, no race of people going to be there. So all this stuff about the names on the there's going to be names of the tribes and all that. I can't even go there, y'all. And y'all notice I never speak. I can't even go there. That's because if everything's spiritual, he what is on the earth got to be let loose on the earth, because He's going to destroy the earth and bring a new Jerusalem down. Why bring the new Jerusalem down? To bring the earth back up into the new Jerusalem? No. I think there's been a lot of lies. Think it's been a lot of things being said and told, and it's a form of the deception to believe the lies. And I think, like I say, He did a successful job. But I believe that the kingdom is spirit. All spirit, y'all. All spirit. And the way you came down here, it's not the way you're going to go up. You see what I'm saying? It's not the way you're going to go up. When I say that is, you're not going up in the flesh. So we can only find race amongst flesh, not spirit. You see what I'm saying? You won't have male and female. You have spirits. They don't understand. He gave that feminine of who he was a spirit. He gave us a son and then told us, come the time of the kingdom, the new Jerusalem, we ain't gonna need the sun. See, a lot of things, we ain't gonna need stars. We ain't gonna need the sun for light. These things gonna be done away with. We're gonna be strictly in the realm of the spirit. You see? And all this stuff that has been taught, it was taught without word and without power. That's why people can't preach spirit and truth, because they ain't got the power to do so. Y'all didn't usher them the power to do so. That's why they can't teach it. And I always wonder, I said, why ain't nobody come up and teaching it? Why they can't? So when you hear them talking all what they talking, they doing it for the name of the flesh. They're not doing it in the name of the spirit. They're doing it in the name of their flesh. Spirit has no color, no nationality. And when it all said and done, male and female, only you're gonna still have the image of Yah. That's it. We're gonna be the spirits just returning back. All this other mess they trying to build up in the kingdom that's on this earth. No, I don't think that's gonna be real. At least the Father ain't told me that is. And I'm telling you, I've been dealing with this since I was a little girl, and I ain't seen the kingdom where there's. When I say I haven't seen it, I haven't seen him by his word teach me that the kingdom gonna have nationalities, and all I know is from what he taught me as a young person. Everybody is spirits. You came down here, blown in you a spirit, and when you go back, you're gonna be a spirit. Yeah. Yep, you're gonna be a spirit. Because he even told you he ain't gonna have no sun. It ain't gonna be no stars. For what? He is the light. What more light are we gonna need when he is the light? Come on now. It's because we never believe the power that rests in the word, and the word that rests in the power, because we wanted it here on the earth with us. We wanted it to be said and done and teached and preached and taught the way we wanted it on earth. And we wasn't settling for nothing but what we can digest here on the earth. We didn't want what heaven had prepared and how he orchestrated it. You see, he sat there and told you, I don't judge no man. The Father don't judge no man. That's what he said. He don't have no dealing with flesh. So why is it we're going to go up into the earth, to the kingdom, and then conduct flesh in the kingdom when he don't deal with flesh? So only flesh has nationality. Only flesh has a race or a color. You see, a spirit don't have all that. It's just a spirit. So even when James say brethren, I can grip that. You see, I can grip that. I can understand that. Where to you might get somebody to say, well, brother, we ain't all brethren. You see, he's speaking of a oneness, to where somebody would think, oh, brethren, we are some of us are female, or people would think just like that. If you had enough people in here, they'd say, what you mean, hello, brethren? But you have to understand it in the spirit, that he's not talking about what you talking about. He's talking about the unity of oneness. You see? And that's what people miss. People miss stuff like that. But with me, I understand that. I get it. That's sense to me. I can get it. I can grip it. But there's a lot of things is actually taking place, even in my family, within my children, and I see it taking place, and I don't even know how to call it out. Don't get me wrong now, because there's things that I know that he's revealing to me. You see, and it's hard to speak on. It's hard to bring out. You see, because it's going to be this way. But there ain't nothing you can do about it. So the best thing you can do about it is bring it out. Like he said, speak spirit and truth. Bring that word with that power and let it rest there. And in it, I'm hoping that, just like I said to you all, many gonna start coming to you. They're gonna start saying things. They're gonna start asking you questions and so on and so on. And you just be ready. Don't leave without saying. Say something. Because if greater is he that's in you, be ready to speak a word if someone asks you. You see? Because that's where we at. So I appreciate each and every last one of you all tuning in tonight. That was quick. That was a quick 2 hours almost. I appreciate each and every last one of you tuning in. And just go before the Father and seek him to find your place in this end day. And I, Sister Deborah, say again, I appreciate each and every last one of you in the live chat. And I say to you, Nancy, I hope you're doing well. You sound well from your words. Stay encouraged. Know that the Father is the first and the last. Say so. And it's almost to me like, hey, he didn't bring you this far to let you go now. But I want to say to you, the most important thing is it ain't nothing here to hold on to. There's nothing here to hold on to. It's nothing better than a paradise sleep in Yah. You know, if you know that you've done the best that you have done, and he wants you here, and he wants you to continue, trust that it's in his hand and in his will. Don't let them tell you nothing no more than that. But when you embrace his will, whether he wants you here or he don't, that's the most beautiful way to go out. It really is. You're going out in style. You see what I'm saying? So don't be afraid because of the words that they say and they tell you this, and this. Just know where you at today. Just where you at today is a place that many wish they had an opportunity to be. And that is speaking about the Most High Yah during a time of your sickness, your illness, your suffering in your body, but yet you still have the words to still trust in him and believe in him. Many don't have that opportunity and hadn't had it. So you keep holding on. And like I say, he's bringing you this far for the reason that he has within himself. And you just hold on to his unchanging hands. But like I tell a lot of people, to live is to die. To die is to live. Believe that. It's not one, it's better than the other in a way of saying that, you know, if I die, oh, I'm in bad. Oh, no. When you go out with Yah, you go out with a bang. You sleep in that paradise. You see? And after that sleep, the trumpet blows for the day of judgment. And if your heart, your spiritual heart was toward him before you slept, that's where you're going to be eternal. You see? That's just it. And that's just not for you. That's for each and every last one of us who think that we didn't come here. We come to live just to die. We come here to live just to die. What am I talking about? That flesh. That's the only thing dies. And it's not greater than your spirit that lives eternal. So each and every last one of us, we come to live to die. Okay? So let's continue to lean not to our own understanding and know that Yah is the beginning and the end of all things, and that uh, nothing is greater than having Him with us, in us, for us, through us. Nothing. And I, Sister Deborah, like I say, I appreciate each and every last one of you tuning in, and I will be back. And I say shalom and shalom.